First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakach, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone for teaching this truth time and time again, showing us to be men of the Lord, men of the Lord. The Wadi Yah, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakach, Wadash, for this, Lord willing, the Spirit. And just want to go do a little thing. I was watching a video. I got like a laptop so I could finally do it because it was not working when I was doing it. And it was off these videos on like the Carl Shaw. I was just looking like how he was saying men or people are hackable creatures now. And then because it was just another news article that is fake news. They said so-called Jesus Christ. Because I was watching the elder Yahshua video, and are fake news. So they're just the craziness of these people. They're just putting forth their unbelief, which is what the Lord. What did the Lord say? He said, Psalm chapter 14, verse 1. This is a song of David. To the fool, the fool said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works, and there is none that doeth good. So now they're saying this, and so now you see how this mind, they're not listening and understanding. They have no fear. So got this video 6 minutes, but I'm gonna be stopping and end it. But just wanna because they also do this for some reason. So I'm just gonna Fair Use Act. It's for fair use of I think Act of 27 that allows the laws of creators to use copyright material, and I'm using it for the purpose of criticizing and for educational purpose, and I'm not making any monetary value on it. So let's get to the video. I'm not gonna show it either. I'm just gonna listen to it and I'm gonna stop.
Now, in the past, many tyrants and governments wanted to do it, but nobody understood biology well enough, and nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. Data might...
And he's wrong because it was a lot of leaders and did that stuff. Not just hackable people, I mean like to try to hack it, but to just even go into Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's land, it's a city of Israel filled with strangers. They don't know when it goes to the video. I'm gonna let it go, but I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer.
Enable human elites to do something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes.
That's a fallacy when he says 4 billion years. They did like the thing if the Earth was made in like 6,000 years, and then they rested on the 7th year, and then they did math on it, on how long it takes for from Yahushai, from Adam to Yahushai. They did all the math. So it was like roughly like 14,000, 15,000 years. And when they say that, they use this thing called radioactive isotope, or like carbon dating, which if I understand how carbon and atoms work, they decay. So if it was 4 billion years, how they wouldn't be able to tell that, because I don't know how long the half life of it, but once it hits its half life, it starts decaying, so it wouldn't be no carbon present. But see, this is the devil for you. Uh, Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say to him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed it say unto him that framed it, how have he had no understanding? He have no understanding. He has no understanding because he's doing all these certain things when doing all these things that, like, oh, Lord, why is this supposed to be like that? Why is this supposed to be? Well, what am I supposed to have a purpose? But the Lord gave us a purpose from the beginning. And so he's saying that now we can do and go between and go against God and say to the Creator, well, no, I think I should be made like this. But the Lord put a perpetual balance. This is a Sirach chapter 33, verse 1. And there shall no evil happen unto him that fear the Lord. But the temptation, even again, he will deliver him. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite there is as a ship of storm. Let's drop down a little bit. Drop down to verse 5. The heart of a fool is like a cartwheel. His thoughts are like a rolling ash tree. So now he's the heart of these people. They're just like, why can't we do this? Why can't it do it? But it's foolish. It's continuously going around and around saying all these things they're doing, what they're actually destroying them. So they don't really have the law or the understanding. They're literally saying that we can do this, but they're really not understanding that it's just going into a circle to their destruction, because the Lord made it a certain time. He did this in order. This is what this chapter goes into. I'm just gonna skip around because on time thing. Some of them have made high day. Let's just go. Verse 10. See, so now we'll get to the point. All men were formed from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. And much a knowledge the Lord has divided them and made them way diverse. So the Lord made us diverse for a reason. He created and he did it because he wanted to compete a perpetual balance. A false balance is an abomination. You need good and evil. That's what this is going to go into. You need a thing. You have to have. If you have this many predators, this many prey, like herbivores, things that eat grass and all that stuff. If you just had them all, they would destroy the environment. So now you have to set for prey. And this is what that devil, because he's an Amalekite, he's a devil, he is. But they say in their heart, he had divided them and made them diverse. And some of them he blessed, and some exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself, but some of them he cursed and brought low and turned out into their places. And he does that to everyone. They always say everyone had a chance in slavery. Yeah, and right now the so-called black so-called Native American, they're in slavery, and they put it, but he did it. They kept a balance, and to be fair, the Lord was being fair, but. This is the point. This is Sirach the 13. As clay in a potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to him as liking him best. Good is set, so the Lord created this. Good is set against evil, life against death. These are in pairs and balances. It keeps a perpetual balance. So is godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So he's hacking it. He's not understanding that he's destroying a perpetual balance. He's complaining, why have they made me thus? That's pretty much what he's doing. This is Isaiah chapter 45, verse 9. Hopefully I get through. Woe unto him that strive with his maker, and let the potshare strive with the potshare of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, Why have thou made thee thus? Thy works, and I have no hands. So he's like, why? Woe unto him that said to his father, Why is begotteth thee? So they're really just scared, and they're doing it happily because they're subject to die. They're going to go into slavery, but the Lord created them to do that. The Lord made them. He made all things for himself, even the wicked. Let me get that real quick. This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. This is, the Lord has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So the Lord did all these. He made a perpetual thing. So they're hacking it. They're going to go. But that just shows how much knowledge that he has. These are supposed to be these brilliant. And you see, he's kind of like, he's a sodomite. So you got to understand that Harari, he's a sodomite. But the Lord, let's just get this real quick. And then continue the video. Salaki, there's just so many excellent points. I'm just trying to get it. Hopefully this video too long. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 27. Verse 25. Let me see. Let me start. Therefore God has given them to uncleanness. Wherefore, I'm sorry, that's 22. Romans chapter 1, verse 20. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. So he's saying, all these are KJV, and now they said, now they are hackable creatures, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like the corruptible man. So they're hacking it, but they're corruptible man. They go into certain things that, like, men die. Yahweh Shemel Shai is in turn. He the ancient of days, he has always existed. He made a perpetual thing, and he was the only person that can do it. To birds, the 4-foot beasts, the creeping things. Wherefore, God also gave them unto their uncleanness through their lust of their own eyes, to dishonor their own body between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed. Amen. So, and if you go into that chapter, as you become a fucking sodomite. But never met that.
NATO's humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our cloud.
And you see what he says, some God. This is Psalm chapter 53, verse 1. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and they have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God has a look. I read that one. Salaki. It's just counteract me. It's just going to Psalms 14 and Psalm 53. It's just going that it has to just continue. God looked down from the heavens upon the children of man and to see if they were any that did understand, and did he seek. And every one of them has gone back, and all to them being filthy. So it's going into, this is blood lake behavior. But then now they have the technology to do it. But the Lord's just going to let them almost fill their belly. But look, he's just saying these blasphemous things that he has no belief. He has no fear. And no fear of God is, going back to that point, you saying that I'm going to let it go in, and then we can, once he says it, I'm going to get to the scripture.
The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution. And at the same time, science may enable life. After being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds, science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. So after 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are entering the era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. So does the data about my DNA, my brain, my...
Let's just get to the point. Because I don't think he says it in this video. This is just because it's Dr. Urari, Noah, whatever the fuck his name is, and Carl Sauce. But he says that now we don't have to have the fear of the Lord. Like when he brings rain, he puts out a point that he'll bring rain, or he'll bring certain aspects of like, oh, we have to listen to the laws of the land, and now we don't have to listen to God because we can make our own water. That's what he said roughly in one of his things. But see, even, and they said no other king. Well, no, that was wrong. This is 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and Cutum and Anam. We're going to drop down to the point. Verse 25, but it's just telling what places he came. They came instead of the children of Israel, and that's the point. And they possessed Samaria and dwelled in the city. And so was it at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord. They didn't fear so obviously he's blading out shit that's not, he fears not the Lord. That's basically, therefore the Lord sent lions among them and slew them. So they knew, like nations men knew. It was I think it's a story in Esdras, not Esdras, in the Apocrypha. I don't know why, but that they said if if our people not following the laws, then they can beat them. But if they're following the laws, is nowhere they can be beat. So they did, and so what the king does, he figured out to follow the lands of the law. The Lord is a Lord of order. So he's saying these blatant hypocrisies and stuff like that. Even it's because at the end of the day, we were made from the dust of the ground. The Lord created in a everlasting balance, a balance. But he's foolish. You see, he's blading out things that are completely prideful. I'm at the end of it in a little bit, but get these. He's blading out complete blasphemies. But you got to understand, the law, and the law was like, I'm gonna get it too, was for you to avoid punishment, and it brings life. It's not grievous in the Baruch. This is a Sirach. Slovakia. You know how Satan gets down. I'm gonna just bring it out in this. Keep fucking going back. This is Sirach chapter 32, verse 18. I'm gonna start at 16. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as light. A sinful man will not be reproved. So they said when the Lord would send down that water and all these situations, and how it was really a reproof. So just these things are for a scourge, or for so man will reprove. He's an Amalekite, so he wouldn't understand. He's going to be put into slavery anyway. But this is just for our people. But findeth a excuse according to his will. She was like, oh, I was doing all that stuff. So we're talking to our people. But he won't be reproved. A man of counsel will be considerated, but a strange and proud man is daunted not with fear. even when himself have done without counsel. So they probably was counseling with themselves, but they didn't have wise counsel because they're not wise. Look at it. What they're literally saying is to destroy the balance, which that's unwise. And what did the Lord say about an unwise king? This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. A unwise king, I'm gonna just start at 2. A wise king, I'm gonna start at 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and governor of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of his people himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler is of the city, such is all that dwell in it. So this is saying if it was wise, but basically saying that the people are after how the rulers is. And that's why they say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked, they mourn. But a unwise king destroyeth his people, and they're going to be destroying people below them, and it's an ever-living challenge. And now, when the people at the bottom destroy themselves because they're unwise, the unwise king they showed him his idiosyncrasies, but like how stupid these motherfuckers are. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through his prudence and through which our authority of the city shall be inhabited, the power of the earth is in the hands of the Lord. Basically, in due time he will set over one that is profitable. But you see what they're saying. They're perpetuating all these things about, they should do certain aspects or they shouldn't follow, and that people are hackable now, which is complete blasphemy. Because this is Romans chapter 3 verse 18. Their feet are swift to shed blood, destruction and misery are in their ways, and the ways of peace they know not. They not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes. Now, when they know that there was time somewhat, the law says, it shall say to them under our law, every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may be guilty before God. Therefore, by their deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified. I was talking about our people, but we're just saying that it's a certain energy when you have no fear of God in your eyes. You just when the like you can just see it, like when Slocky. Let me find it real quick. When you have no fear in your eyes, it gets it. Like Abraham, when he was let me just get it. Genesis the 20th chapter, verse 11, Abraham said, before I thought surely there is no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. So once you have no fear, you lose understanding, because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. So then you start now, what is it called? Social, more. What is I think is generating morality or moral decay. That's what it's called. Moral decay will start bringing forth. And so he's literally spreading the most moral decay you ever see. I got a lot more. Maybe, Lord willing, I can come out with a part 2. But you know how it is. You know how it is. I'm just gonna end off with this. But the Lord, Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 1, in which the Lord came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, arise and go down to the potter's house, and there will I cause them to hear my word. And when he went down to the potter's, and behold, he wrought a work on a wheel. If you go understand how pottery works, like pots and stuff, they use like the gravitational force by pushing their hand in. It's pretty interesting. They say gravity. I don't know what that is, but like that's what they explain it in the class of ceramics. But the vessel that he made on the of clay were marred in his hands of a potter, so he made it again another vessel, and seemed good to the potter to make it. Then the words of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, can I not do with you as the potter, said the Lord? Behold, as the clay in the potter's hands, so are you in my hands, O house of Israel. This is talking to our people again, but it's just saying that these aspects are happening because the Lord formed it. He did everything for perpetual balance. For instance, I shall speak concerning nations and concerning kingdoms, to pluck up and put down and to destroy, to bring forth his will, and to also bring forth perpetual balance. Because the Lord, a false balance is it? And so you see these people putting these things out. The Lord always put it. This is Romans the 9th chapter, a little beginning. He said he made one. I'm just reading. And therefore I have. This is Romans chapter 9 verse 20. Nay, O how are thy replies against God? Shall the thing that formed it say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay, as the same lump make one vessel for honor and the other another unto dishonor? What is God willing to show his wrath, to make the power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels fitted for wrath? So these are people, what he's speaking, he's the vessels fitted for wrath. So they're putting all these inconsistencies, but they don't understand the Lord. The Lord put it on them to do that. But even before they did any good or evil, the Lord had it for an election purpose. That's what it goes in the beginning of the chapter, but it's about to shut up. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakradas. Lord willing, I can come with part 2, because I